Student loan payments on pause again as the Biden administration fights to save the student loan forgiveness plan. It was struck down earlier this month by a federal judge who ruled President Biden overstepped his power. But Biden says he's completely confident that plan is legal. NewsNation's Evan Lambert joins us from Washington. Evan, so no payments until June 30th.
Nichole, possibly even 60 days after June 30th. The pause in effect while this all works its way through the courts. As a battle between the Biden administration and several Republican-led states over student debt relief plays out, with the Supreme Court possibly set to weigh in, borrowers have even longer before their payments are due. On Wednesday, the Department of Education announced payments would remain paused until 60 days after either the loan forgiveness goes into effect, the litigation is resolved, or 60 days after the Supreme Court's term ends on June 30th. NewsNation speaking with Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona Wednesday.
This action by the president to provide debt relief to 40 million middle-class Americans is something that is needed. And, the announcement yesterday to extend the pause is intended to make sure that we have resolution on this issue before we ask them to come back into repayment.
Last week, the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals issued an injunction preventing the program from going into effect while the case progresses in court. The Biden administration then asked the Supreme Court to reinstate it. It provides up to $20,000 in debt relief with an income cap of $125,000 for a single person or $250,000 for married couples. Critics of the loan forgiveness take issue with the income limit or argue it's unfair to those who don't have student loans or didn't go to college at all. In a statement, the House Education and Labor Committee's top Republican, Virginia Foxx of North Carolina, said, quote, President Biden's actions over the last several months are shameful. Millions of borrowers being used as political pawns. This is not the kind of policy taxpayers ordered, but it's all that's on the menu for the Biden administration. We need sane, fiscally responsible policies, not the haphazard decisions being served up by this White House. Since the Education Department started taking applications, 26 million people have applied. 16 million have already been approved. People like Kennedy Hargrove, who told NewsNation after one of the initial court challenges, waiting doesn't feel good.
It's like if someone had tied me up in a string and was hovering me in this body of water and I couldn't swim, and were saying, hey, we could either drown you or we could help you up.
And if this program does go into effect, the Congressional Budget Office estimating that it will cost $400 billion over the next 3 decades.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.